even like P. Diddy. I'm not going to speak bad about P. Diddy because he's still a black man. Mistakes happen, and I can't say if it is or it's not a mistake, but things happen in life. And P. Diddy business is P. Diddy business. It's not my job or anyone else's job to go on the internet and stump him and kick a man while he's down. My take on it is, it's not—
Ooh, have you heard the whispers about Diddy and Floyd? Now this ain't your typical backstage fling. Floyd, the man who practically runs Diddy's empire, they say there's more to their connection than meets the eye. See, Floyd's been by Diddy's side for years. Loyal as a shadow, keeps Diddy's schedule tighter than a drum, and deals with all those high-maintenance personalities like they're nothing. But lately, folks have been catching little hints, like stolen glances during interviews and lingering touches in the studio. Remember that time Diddy accidentally brushed Floyd's hand while accepting an award? Town went wild. Now, some say it's just a publicity stunt. Diddy's got a new album coming out. Maybe they're cooking up some controversy to get the hype train rolling. But others, they swear there's genuine affection there. The way Floyd looks at Diddy sometimes, like he hung the moon and all the stars. And Diddy, well, let's just say he doesn't seem to mind the extra attention Floyd gives him.
I don't think it's right at all, and I don't condone it. Even if that happened to my daughter, I would be hurt. But that's a choice that my daughter made. So I don't want to kick nobody while they're down.
I think the big thing, because I have girls too, is though—
No boys?
I have a boy too.
Okay.
Is one, if your son is in that position or your son is accused of those things that Diddy was accused of, like, I'm going to—
Of course, the industry ain't exactly welcoming to, well, you know, situations like theirs. Coming out could be a career ender for Diddy. But then again, the man's a risk taker. Built his empire on breaking the mold. Maybe Floyd's the push he needs to rewrite the rules. The whole thing's got everyone buzzing. Is it a carefully crafted performance, or is there a real love story brewing behind the scenes? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, Diddy and Floyd are giving the town something juicy to gossip about.
I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take things to that next level. And I've always been there for him. And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. And, but over the years, it's constantly going on the internet, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd.
Floyd, in an interview, talking about how he wanted Gervonta to become the world champion and actually be the best. The gym thumped with the rhythmic thud of leather on canvas. Gervonta Tank Davis, a young fighter with lightning-fast reflexes and a devastating left hook, danced around the heavy bag, sweat dripping from his brow. He was hungry for greatness, hungry to prove himself worthy of the mantle Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s protege. Floyd, the undefeated legend, was a towering figure in Tank's life. He'd plucked the raw talent out of obscurity, molded him into a contender, and promised him a path to boxing glory. Tank, in turn, saw Floyd as a father figure, a mentor, and the key to unlocking his full potential. The admiration wasn't one-sided. Floyd saw a fighter with unparalleled potential in Tank. He envisioned a legacy built not just on his own achievements, but on the success of his protege. However, this admiration harbored a darker secret, a manipulation that would forever taint their relationship.
Constantly be disrespectful, when all I ever been was respectful to try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go.
Even though these allegations are yet to be proven, Floyd had only good words to say. It started subtly, late-night training sessions at Floyd's mansion, lavish gifts, and a promise of even greater rewards. Tank, young and naive, basked in the attention, oblivious to the strings attached. The training intensified, pushing Tank to his physical and mental limits. Floyd became more than just a coach. He became a constant presence, isolating Tank from his family and friends. One night, after a particularly grueling session, Floyd invited Tank to stay over. Exhausted and trusting, Tank agreed. What followed was a nightmare. Floyd, fueled by a twisted sense of control and a warped view of their bond, forced himself on Tank. Tank, caught off guard and overwhelmed, froze. Shame and confusion flooded him. In the aftermath, Floyd acted as if nothing happened, but the incident cast a long shadow, poisoning their relationship. The training continued, but the joy was gone, replaced by a constant sense of dread. Tank performed mechanically in the ring, the spark extinguished in his eyes. It felt wrong, Tank confided in a hushed voice years later, a haunted look in his eyes. I was supposed to be his champion, Not that.
Yeah.
He made that video and Floyd sent it. I mean, he sent it to Floyd.
You think that was a Floyd joint?
He made the video and sent it to Floyd.
Oh, so Floyd
and
posted
it.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know that, come on, bro, it's a lot.
Nah, for sure. Do you think that's gonna be your hardest fight?
Hell no.
Nah?
Wow.
Cause he a good boxer, nigga. Like, that's when I look at y'all two as the best in the division.
How? Show me something that he did spectacular. Show me something that he did outrageous. Show me.
Pressure to succeed, the fear of disappointing Floyd, and the shame of the assault became a suffocating prison. Tank bottled it all up. Unable to share his pain with anyone, he knew that speaking out would end his career before it even began. Floyd was too powerful, too connected. Years passed. Tank, a shadow of his former self, managed to win titles and secure lucrative endorsements, but the victory tasted hollow. He was a champion, built on lies and abuse. One day, a social media post resurfaced, a picture of a young, hopeful Tank with Floyd, a caption praising Floyd's mentorship. Tank stared at the screen, a wave of nausea washing over him. He couldn't take it anymore.
Set you off? Like, what set you off that you was like, I gotta do that?
A lot of people don't know that what Floyd do. A lot of people don't know what Floyd. Everything that Floyd said right there, the chrome heart bed, the Maybach, the Lloyd shit, that was all in my post.
Oh, that was you posted that. You posted that. Oh wow. Damn. I ain't even realized that, to be honest.
Chrome bag.
Right.
Lloyd shit. Maybach.
Oh.
He said.
So you feel like it was a sub, like he was subbing you, like, oh, like.
With trembling fingers, he typed a message, his heart pounding in his chest. It was a raw, emotional account of the abuse he'd suffered, a confession that shattered the carefully constructed image of Floyd, the legendary mentor. The boxing world erupted. Accusations flew. Loyalties were tested. Floyd vehemently denied the allegations, painting Tank as a jealous ex-student. But the seed of doubt was planted. The truth, as with all things, wasn't black and white. It was a tangled web of power, manipulation, and a young fighter's shattered dreams. Tank's career took a hit. Sponsors pulled out, and whispers followed him everywhere. But for the first time in years, he felt a sense of liberation. He had spoken his truth, and the burden that had weighed him down for so long began to lift.
At me. He was going at me. Yeah. And I knew for sure he was going at me. That's why I went at him. There's no reason for me to go at Floyd.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, because I feel like y'all got, I would say love, hate, but it's been like the last interview you showed them love. This week it was whatever. But is that sometimes like, you know, is it just like big bro, little bro seeing things different, or what is it to you?
No, Floyd don't never, he felt as though I'm at that point where as though I passed him. And I'm doing it at a young age. When Floyd was 29.
The journey to healing would be long and arduous, but Tank knew he wasn't alone. His story resonated with survivors of abuse, inspiring them to find their voice. The cost of greatness in the world of boxing wasn't just sweat and blood. Sometimes it was innocence and the silencing of a young fighter's dreams. Tank's story became a cautionary tale, a reminder that the path to greatness should never be paved with abuse. The humid air in the Miami gym clung to Gervonta Tank Davis like a second skin. Each punch on the heavy bag was a furious echo of the anger festering within him. Years of buried pain resurfaced, fueled by a recent interview glorifying the men who'd exploited him. Nasty Nate, the notorious promoter, Diddy, the flashy music mogul, and Floyd Mayweather, the boxing legend.
In your blood, you know what I'm saying? He's a made man. It's the black face. You ain't never seen it before.
So this black on.
Everything's black on.
Everything's black on.
Black on.
Yeah, happy birthday.
It all started with Nasty Nate, a fast-talking shark with a penchant for spotting talent in forgotten corners. He'd seen the raw power in Tank, a young kid hungry for a way out of the Baltimore streets. Promises of wealth and fame dangled like glittering bait. Tank, naive and desperate, took the hook. He'd roll in with his entourage, all smooth talk and expensive suits, Tank recalled, his voice laced with bitterness. Said I was the next big thing, the future of boxing, but the promises soon morphed into a suffocating control. Nasty Nate dictated Tank's every move, training regimes, media appearances, even his social media persona. The lavish lifestyle came with a terrifying price, unwanted advances from the charismatic promoter. One night, at a high-stakes fight he organized, Tank recounted, a shudder running down his spine. He cornered me in his private booth, champagne flowing like water. The next thing I knew, Tank stopped, his throat tightening. He couldn't voice the violation, but the haunted look in his eyes spoke volumes. Shame and fear kept him silent, a prisoner in the gilded cage Nasty Nate had built. Then came Diddy, the music mogul, with his larger-than-life persona and promises of crossover fame. Nasty Nate, eager to capitalize on Tank's rising star power, introduced him. Diddy, initially impressed with Tank's talent, saw a marketing opportunity. He envisioned me as some kind of boxing meets music sensation, Tank said, a hint of disgust in his voice. But the training he arranged was intense, more about showmanship than raw skill. Diddy, fueled by his own ego, treated Tank as an investment, not a fighter. Subtle pressures and unwanted advances became a constant presence. Tank, trapped in his contract with Nasty Nate, felt powerless to resist. Finally, there was Floyd Mayweather, the boxing legend, an idol Tank had worshipped since childhood. Nasty Nate, desperate for Floyd's endorsement, facilitated a connection. To Tank, Floyd represented a chance at pure boxing excellence, a way out of the manipulative web he was caught in. At first, training with Floyd was like a dream come true, Tank reminisced, a flicker of hope sparking in his eyes. His knowledge was unmatched, his techniques revolutionary, but
We gotta go this way. We gotta go that
the dream soon turned into a nightmare. The training became grueling, pushing Tank to his physical and mental limits. Floyd, a complex man with a controlling streak, blurred the lines between mentorship and manipulation. One night, after a particularly brutal session, Tank's voice trembled. Floyd stayed late. I thought it was special one-on-one coaching, but it turned into something else entirely. The betrayal was a devastating blow. Tank, the young fighter who'd idolized Floyd, was left feeling violated and discarded. He was trapped, a pawn in a twisted game of power played by Nasty Nate, Diddy, and Floyd. Years went by. Tank, fueled by a cocktail of rage and resentment, became a force to be reckoned with in the ring. He secured titles, accolades, and sponsorships. However, the victories felt hollow, haunted by the manipulation and coercion he'd endured.
I grabbed her like I should, like, you gotta get out of here type thing. Like, and I probably was wrong for doing that. I was wrong for doing that. But it wasn't so much of not me trying to hit her, or it's just me. You know how like somebody, you angry at a kid? I'm a fighter. If I touch you in any kind of way, like as far as fists, I'm gonna hurt you.
Then, a social media post triggered a tidal wave of anger. A picture of Tank with Floyd, captioned with praise for Floyd's mentorship. It was a glorification of the very man who'd exploited him. "Enough is enough," Tank roared, slamming his fist against the punching bag. "They can't rewrite history." With shaking hands, he typed out a message, a raw and emotional account of the abuse he'd suffered at the hands of Nasty Nate, Diddy, and Floyd. Sharing his truth was terrifying, but the burden he'd carried for years had become unbearable.
Yeah. Ooh, that look good.
Boxing world erupted in chaos. Accusations flew, loyalty lines blurred. Nasty Nate, Diddy, and Floyd vehemently denied everything, branding Tank a bitter ex-fighter. The truth, as always, was a tangled mess. Tank's story wasn't just about physical violation, it was about a system that fueled manipulation and silenced voices. His career took a hit, sponsors walked away, and doubt followed him like a shadow. Yet
The streets, and they wind up still doing it. Some of them, well, probably one of them in jail, and the rest did. So.
Well, you were blessed.
Yeah, so I was blessed to be in a space to either watch it, either, you know, probably, I didn't even think it was hard on them, but it was time. It was like basically he knew what he was talking about, and he knew things before it even happened. So.
Yet, for the first time in years, Tank felt a flicker of something he hadn't experienced in a long time. Hope. He had spoken his truth, a truth that resonated with countless others who'd faced similar horrors in the ruthless world of boxing. Support, unexpected and overwhelming, poured in from fans, journalists, and even fellow fighters. The boxing community, long known for its silence on such matters, started a conversation about the dark underbelly of the sport. The road to healing wouldn't be easy. Therapy sessions filled with tears and self-doubt became a new part of Tank's routine, but slowly, he began to reclaim his life. He severed ties with Nasty Nate, the manipulative promoter who'd initiated him into this twisted world. Facing down Diddy and Floyd, the men he'd once idolized, proved harder. The lawsuits dragged on, a constant reminder of the past he desperately wanted to outrun. Yet, with each court appearance, Tank felt a growing sense of empowerment. He was no longer a silent victim. He was a fighter, both in the ring and in this new battle for justice. Meanwhile,
My thing is, I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take things to that next level. And I've always been there for him. And just over the years, you can see I've always been positive, always said great things about him, always pushed him to be great. And, but over the years, it's constantly going on the internet, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd, take a shot at Floyd, constantly be...
The boxing world grappled with the fallout. Sponsors tightened regulations, demanding transparency from promoters and training camps. Investigations were launched, unearthing stories of abuse that had been swept under the rug for years. Tank's story, a catalyst for change, shattered the industry's code of silence. The journey wasn't without its setbacks. Public support wavered as the lawsuits dragged on, and whispers of doubt began to resurface. Critics questioned the timing of his accusations, suggesting they were a ploy to garner sympathy. But Tank persevered. He found strength in his growing legion of supporters, survivors who saw him as their voice. He channeled his anger and pain into his training, returning to the ring with a renewed purpose. This wasn't just about winning titles anymore. It was about proving that broken spirits could rise, and that even in the darkest corners of the boxing world, a fight for truth could prevail.
Constantly be disrespectful, when all I ever been was respectful to try to help this fighter go as far as he could possibly go. That's all I ever did.
Years later, as Tank stood victorious in the center of the ring, the once naive kid from Baltimore had become a symbol of resilience. He had not only carved his name in boxing history, but also sparked a movement for change. His story became a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of speaking truth to power, and a reminder that even the most formidable opponents can be knocked out by the courage to fight for what's right. The internet went nuclear. 50 Cent, never one to shy away from controversy, had just dropped a bombshell on social media, a grainy photo, seemingly innocuous at first glance. Diddy, the music mogul, lounging poolside in Miami, a pair of diamond-encrusted sunglasses obscuring his eyes. But it was the caption that sent shockwaves through the industry. "Happy anniversary, boo. Thought you forgot to mind this is bigger than hip-hop."
Going on with what I thought was a situation that you couldn't break down. Between 50 Cent and Mayweather.
Yeah.
This looked like a friendship that was going to last a lifetime. What the hell happened between 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather?
Well, he changed his mind.
Now, what do you mean he changed his mind?
Like, as he was actually going in to jail, he asked me to help him with Mayweather.
The internet collectively gasped. Diddy and 50 Cent, the two titans of the hip-hop industry locked in a years-long feud filled with diss tracks and veiled insults, were secretly a couple? Conspiracy theories had swirled for years. A shared smirk during an award show, a strangely subdued diss track after a particularly vicious exchange. But these were dismissed as mere entertainment, the fuel that kept their feud burning bright. Now, 50 Cent had thrown a Molotov cocktail into the carefully constructed facade. The media swarmed. Diddy's carefully cultivated image, the epitome of masculine swagger and entrepreneurial success, crumbled under the weight of speculation. 50 Cent, the streetwise rapper with a hustler's heart, reveled in the chaos. "It was getting boring. Y'all needed some excitement," he declared in a follow-up post, a mischievous glint in his eyes during a late-night interview. But behind the bravado, there was a hint of something else, a flicker of pain quickly masked by a sardonic quip. Their relationship, it seemed, wasn't just a publicity stunt. There was a history, a hidden love story buried beneath the layers of public animosity.
Then as he actually got in and I took a look, I realized there is no Mayweather Promotions. There's no LLC, there's no CO, it's not incorporated, there's no It's just
a name.
Yeah,
that comes out people's mouths.
Right. See, so technically, Floyd is a Golden Boy fighter. You see what I'm saying? He fights on every Golden Boy card. They do all the footwork on
like
every
the
show.
negotiations and the imprint, the paperwork.
They build the whole show. So when
the story, pieced together from whispers and rumors, went like this. Back in the early days, when 50 Cent was a hungry young rapper and Diddy a rising powerhouse, their paths crossed. A mutual respect, a shared understanding of the struggle, blossomed into a secret romance. But the industry, a notoriously unforgiving landscape, loomed large. Coming out wasn't even an option. 50 Cent confided in a rare moment of vulnerability during a radio interview. It would have destroyed everything we built, everything I was fighting for. So, they retreated into the shadows, their love a hidden melody in the cacophony of their public personas. The diss tracks, the manufactured beef, it became a twisted shield, a way to deflect suspicion and protect a love deemed unacceptable. The years passed. Their careers skyrocketed, their public rivalry intensified, a performance both audiences and industry insiders lapped up, but the hidden ache remained, a constant reminder of the life they couldn't have.
The card, they do all the footwork on
like
every
the
show.
negotiations and the imprint, the paperwork.
They build the whole show. So when he says helping with Mayweather promotions and it's not there, I go, okay, I know what he means. He wants me to
get it together,
put it together for him. So I do TMT promotions. I get it all the way together. Sign the actual fighters. We had acquisition of Gamboa. It's like I had to negotiate a release. It was 1.2 million. Andre Durrell.
Then came the photo. Was it a calculated move by 50 Cent, a play to reignite a fading feud, or was it a desperate cry from a heart yearning to break free from the shackles of secrecy? The ambiguity fueled the frenzy. Diddy, known for his control over his image, remained silent. His empire, built on carefully crafted narratives, teetered on the brink of collapse. Sponsors expressed concerns. Endorsement deals were put on hold. The man who controlled everything now felt powerless, trapped in a web of his own creation. The fallout was immense. Social media discussions exploded, a spectrum of opinions forming. Some expressed support, celebrating the breaking down of barriers in a traditionally homophobic industry. Others were outraged, accusing 50 Cent of a publicity stunt. The debate raged on, highlighting the long journey towards LGBTQ+ acceptance in hip-hop. If you want to stay updated on this ever-evolving drama and hear the latest rumors as they unfold, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll be diving deeper into the history of their feud, analyzing fan reactions, and exploring the potential impact on the hip-hop landscape. So hit that subscribe button and join the conversation.
Floyd was, still incarcerated.
Yeah.
When he comes home, there's the Let's Get Floyd Back in Pocket campaign that goes on, where it's $300,000 chains being bought and buying the new Lamborghini and all these new things, and I'm sitting there going, yo, when you gonna give me the money?
Because you'd already invested.
Yeah.
Right, like when you gonna give me your half of the money back? But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you.
Was that in the...
Through it all, 50 Cent remained unfazed. He continued to drop cryptic messages, fueling the fire, but there was a shift in tone, a hint of regret, a sadness that couldn't be masked by braggadocio. We were young, scared, he admitted in a social media post. We missed out on so much. Maybe this is a chance to rewrite the ending. Whether their cryptic online messages translated to a real-life reconciliation remained unknown, but one thing was clear. 50 Cent's bombshell had shattered the carefully constructed image of hip-hop, forcing a conversation about inclusivity and the price of living a lie. The future of their relationship, shrouded in secrecy for years, remained uncertain, but their story, a love story hidden in plain sight, became a symbol of hope. Perhaps in the years to come, the hip-hop world would be ready to embrace love in all its forms, allowing hidden melodies to rise above the manufactured drama. 50 Cent, the man who reveled in controversy, might have inadvertently become a catalyst for change. If you want to stay updated on this ever-evolving drama and hear the latest rumors as they unfold,